Hello and welcome to another installment of 9 to 5 Nerds with Robert Swathwood, Corey Urkel,
hello,
Katrina Swathwood,
hello,
and Brian Passifume.
Let's get this over with.
Oh, Jesus.
Are you taking my role?
What did you say? Installment? I haven't heard that before.
It's the first time I've used it. What do you think?
I like it.
I'm not going to use it again.
Oh, I would. It's endearing.
It's endearing. We're back. This is the first non-Game of Thrones one we've done in a while because I was recovering from being slightly sick. Brian's now sick, not from me, but I was sick for a while, and baseball's winding down for our kids, and we're finally getting back on. We haven't missed that many weeks. It's just I was sick, and now I'm better. So
yay!
We're back.
cool.
Yeah, thanks.
With a good mic.
Yeah, with the good mic. The last one we did was the Game of Thrones finale, and we used our Blue Yeti mic because I still felt like shit, and I didn't want to set it all up.
Yeah.
Like the old mic?
Yeah, we used the old mic. So the sound quality wasn't as good. If you're jumping back in and listening to us now, this is what we normally sound like. Not Brian, but the rest of us is what we normally sound like. Yeah, I need to get rid of this beard. The beard is touching
the pop filter.
The pop filter.
You look like all the pre-guys on Queer Eye that I watched over the weekend that needed some help.
That needed some help?
Yeah.
Fucker, I'm married and I own a house.
A bunch of them were married and houses and wives.
Clean you up.
I'm just talking about the beard.
Change your life.
Well, the only reason I'm leaving it is because it's baseball season and Parker likes it. As soon as the season's over, I'm going to cut it off.
That's what he says.
So, when is his next game?
Tomorrow.
All right, so not tomorrow.
If they're eliminated tomorrow, I'll cut it.
I was trying to be positive.
You gonna cut it in a weird way? Like
I always cut it.
Do Allen chops?
I always know.
He does a Ted Mosby. He'll do it in phases at the same time.
Where I leave it really weird for a little while.
Just take off the mustache first.
I was thinking about leaving just the mustache.
Well, that's normal. The other one's not.
No, I usually have the chin thing.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, just the soul patch?
No,
No,
yeah.
well,
Maybe I should just do that. No, but a lot's been happening. We, if you hear a little noise in the background, we adopted a shelter dog a couple days ago.
And spent all our money.
Yeah. Yeah. Adopting a dog would be so expensive.
Yeah. Well, they trained it for you.
Kind of.
Yeah, kind of. I mean,
mostly, yeah.
More so than if you just got a puppy. That's for
Very
sure.
true. Very true.
Which one is that? Black Cherry?
Yeah.
It's good.
It is. It's pretty good.
You got a Hungarian horn tickler?
What?
I don't know one of those dragons' names from Harry Potter.
A slingback fingle
It sounds
dunker.
Sounds worse than what I said.
A slingback dingle hunker?
Yeah.
Dingle fucker. Oh.
What?
No, I've there's all kinds of things that have been happening and blah 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 blah. But I've been sitting on 3 news stories that I've been.
So
wanting
it's
to
not
talk
news
to.
anymore.
No, it's not news anymore. But it wasn't like
earth-shattering,
time-sensitive news like the Mueller report or anything like that.
Let's not bring that up.
Yeah. So
Brand sensitive to reports. Not that one particular, just any.
Creature reports? Is that sensitive?
Creature report.
Stop saying the word.
Creature report.
He couldn't stand the Colbert Report.
Report?
What the hell are you guys talking about?
I don't know.
What's a creature report?
Creature report.
What?
Oxnauts?
Creature
No.
report.
Is that a kid show?
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
It's from Nick Jr. When it was Nick Jr.
Yeah. No, I singled out 3 stories, and you guys may have heard of them, heard these stories so far.
Why don't you try us? What's number 1?
I think I should start off with the best one, and we'll just go downhill from there.
Okay, sounds good. It's about
like
right.
every other podcast we record.
We'll start high and then roll down low.
Oh, damn it.
Did you lose it?
You sat on it too hard.
No, it says Mueller report, and that's not what I wanted.
All right, let's talk about it then.
Your phone wants you to talk about it.
God,
It knows. I swear to God, everything's listening all the time.
It is. It's legit.
No, I know. I'm seeing all kinds of advertisements on stuff for things I already bought, and I'm like, I already purchased that. I don't want to see it anymore.
Okay. I'm gonna read this.
Okay.
And we'll give CBS News
Credit.
the credit. This is from CBS News.
Yeah, let's clear that throat.
With consent at the forefront of modern conversations about sex, one company is highlighting its importance in a unique way. Argentinian company Tulipan has created a consent condom. that requires 4 hands to be open intending to raise awareness about consent in the bedroom.
What the fuck?
I don't know if that's really going to deter someone.
No.
Well, if it requires 4 hands,
I saw
What if you don't have enough hands?
what would Katrina and I's situation would have been when we first started dating?
Okay, sorry, you're not done reading, are you?
you need a third person to be.
That's what I'm saying. If this would have been handled earlier in our relationship, there might have been some extra.
So it's less a turn.
Wasn't this a topic we covered like 3 episodes ago about people's ability or desire to please multiple people? I think you were on record saying you don't want to.
I don't want to. Yeah. But it's just if they don't say yes, it means no. The tagline on a video demonstration says, "Consent is the most important thing in sex." Yeah, these are limited edition condom packages that were passed
Limited
out.
edition?
Yeah,
Like they're
but here's my
collectibles?
thing: our situation is, Katrina, that I mean, if people don't know, we wouldn't be able to use 4 hands to open this condom.
Unless they count a foot. Isn't appendages work? Like
You just need to push in basically 4 buttons on this. So you can use some chin, maybe. I don't know. I don't think it necessarily requires the dexterity of a finger.
It says
So what's the purpose of this device? Is it awareness, or is that the promotion value of it?
It's more of
Yeah,
almost.
it doesn't seem that like actually used.
I think
applicable.
it's
Who's
not,
gonna buy that?
It's like a limited thing. It's almost like a gag, but to raise awareness. But the one thing I couldn't stop a forced rape, but it could be used.
It couldn't stop any rape. What do you
No.
mean a forced rape?
Yeah, I was gonna
all
say.
rapes are
It-
forced rapes.
Like,
Statutory rape.
That okay?
That's-
Hold on.
Yeah, but you if we go on back in that, we're talking about a minor not being able to give consent, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean,
depends
it
what
was-
state or country you live in.
There's also grooming, and I get what you're saying, but it's I mean to me all rape would be forced rape.
If it's rape because of no consent, not.
I'm
because of
also along the
violence,
mind, and I mean I don't want to go too far down this rabbit hole, but if you're 16 and 18 and you're both in high school, I mean, some places is that still statutory?
yes.
I think that needs to be a gray area. That's weird to me.
Don't you think that is though? If you're a senior and a sophomore, I mean,
It depends person to person.
yeah, but that's not the law.
So you're doing it for 2 years, and the minute somebody turned 18, at that very moment in time, is legal.
Just think about my brother.
No, I understand that, but that's
Wait, what?
we're not going to talk about it on here.
It's
but if you're
there's
like
a hard line when it comes
like
to
he just said, if
statutory.
you're 17 and 15, it's okay, but as soon as you're 18 and 16,
It's not okay. So it's still considered statutory rape because you're still not at an age where you can give consent, even though you're underage.
okay. I'm not saying.
Because when I took the police department secretary test, that was one of the questions.
Oh, interesting.
So even though I had sex in
So-
high school before I was 18 years old, it was still considered statutory
if
rape.
one
because I
person's
wasn't
found
able to
guilty
give
in that
consent.
case, they both are.
Wait. If you're both 16, it's still considered statutory rape.
Because you're not able to give consent.
Okay, that's kind of bullshit.
But that's both parties are committing it.
So
not
you're
the
talking
male.
about and this is where you see a
you
lot.
can have consensual sex between two. I mean,
You
all
can.
of us.
Legally-
never mind, not Corey. All of us lost our virginity before we were 18, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That's illegal.
Yeah.
You guys are all criminals.
I went to Catholic school. That's all we did. It was illegal stuff.
Yeah. Katrina was having sex and doing cocaine nonstop.
Are you all rapists?
So technically, yes, like that by the book of the law.
Well, that was a
I
great final
broke-
episode of Night of
I broke
Wrong
my-
Joe.
It's just how the law is written.
That's strange.
But a different state
So,
to state. Some states
You're
have
also talking in this,
different minors.
when you're going down this road, what's the situation here? Are we talking about parents enforcing the law because they found out their girl was having, premarital
Yeah.
sex because they're upset? Typically, we'll see the situation where boys' parents are going to be typically more upset than girls' parents would be.
Wait, boys' parents are gonna be more upset?
No, they won't be.
Yeah, they'll be less upset.
Right.
Too many high fives to be worried.
Right. So it's a double standard. So girls are being more likely to withhold that information, and then once they get caught, well, I didn't mean to, and then that leads down the road of, oh, well, they were forced to do it. I had a very similar situation happen in my senior year of school where there was a lot of accusations thrown around when
and
nothing actually happened.
You're also, in that same sentence, you're discrediting women who would say that something did
Correct.
happen. So, I mean, you have to take women at their word and do the
Correct.
proper investigation. I know there's a lot of he said, she said, and that kind of
Correct.
stuff. But
And it's impossible to prove.
unless you're that
Unless
piece of
you're a
shit
white
fucking
guy
swimmer
who has
from-
money and can pay
That's a
for an
good
attorney.
swimmer?
That's a good swimmer.
There was the bus driver that got off with like nothing. He got off like probation.
Yeah, I saw that too.
I saw that too.
But this wasn't where the condom thing was supposed to go. But now that we're talking about it, I don't agree with that. 2 16-year-olds, I mean, if you're in high school, that's when people are starting to experiment with being sexual and stuff.
That falls back on the parents, honestly. Are you having legitimate conversations with your kid about what this means?
Yes, but even if you have legitimate conversations and kids are still exploring...
then there won't be a problem.
I understand, but it's still against the law.
Right.
That's not right.
So what is the legal age of consent in California?
That seems like a Christian law.
What a surprise.
Yeah, that's bullshit. That's bullshit.
I don't know what the legal age of consent is
Brian,
in California.
Look it up. Legal age of consent in California.
It's not like 10.
No, nor should it be. It absolutely
or creating
should
child
not be.
brides because they get pregnant.
But, I mean, the whole 16, 15, 16, 17,
some kids mature faster than others. Some kids can actually understand and
you already have it?
conceptualize what it means.
It's 18
Is it? That's so strange.
for California.
That's so strange. No, I understand of 18 being consent to have sex with another 18-year-old, but teenagers have sex.
They do.
They're all criminals, homie.
I guess. Whatever. This took a weird turn.
Sorry.
So, the condom, I think, is a nice tool between consenting adults that...
With 4 hands?
Yeah. That if there's ever a question whether or not either of the two parties consented, that they can say, well, I used this condom. We had to consent or it wouldn't have happened.
Or they could be so blackout drunk they don't know what they're doing and they just do stuff anyways.
So these are all of these. If both parties are underage, they're misdemeanors.
Okay.
So and if it's
It's not something that they really
Would you
enforce.
still have to register as a sex offender?
it doesn't look like it.
I don't think you're charged as a sexual
And
predator.
if the person is under 18 and they're within 3 years of each other, it's a misdemeanor.
Okay. Because that's the whole 16, 18 question.
So yeah, because we don't have a Romeo and Juliet law.
What is that?
Something along the lines of it's like 19. We've been dating for 3 years.
15
You're
years.
19 and I'm 17, kind of a thing. Like
there's an actual long-term relationship in place.
and
Okay.
then someone just
Even
turns
though
18.
Romeo and Juliet met and ran off
They were
together.
like 13 and 15,
Yeah.
and a bunch of people died.
Okay.
Consent is constantly changing. So I don't agree with this. Just because you give consent up front doesn't mean you give consent throughout the entire thing.
No, if somebody if a woman or man says stop,
It
you need
means
to
stop.
You need to pull out or take care of business because you need to fucking stop. If somebody says stop, it's stop. That goes for that. That goes for fucking tickling somebody. I know I'm changing the subject to a more lighter note. If somebody's asking you to stop doing anything, just stop. Regardless,
And that is the hardest thing to teach anybody.
yeah, it's hard to teach. I mean, especially we're laying that groundwork, raising 2 boys and saying when somebody says stop,
have to stop.
regardless of what it is, you need to stop. It doesn't matter if you think it's funny or you think whatever, because that'll hopefully go down the road of respecting the same sex and opposite sex,
Just
regardless
people.
of what they decide to decide, regardless of what they
Want.
If it's a creepy guy in a van, I wouldn't stop. I don't care what he says.
Okay, what do you guys want to hear next? Do you guys want to hear
I want to hear more about condoms.
the bad birthday or the
Why?
bad
Do you not know how to use them?
The four-handed ones? No.
the bad bridesmaid or the bad birthday party?
Combine it.
Bridesmaid.
Bridesmaid? You probably already heard these ones too. But
Did you tell me about the bridesmaid one?
I did. I started
Okay.
to. Okay, so background on the story. I'm not gonna read the entire background of the story, but girl's not in the wedding party. Wasn't invited to the bachelorette party. Talked. I guess made the bride feel bad or something along those lines. So she got invited to a bridesmaid party or a bachelorette
She
party
guilt tripped away to
Yeah.
the party?
in Vegas.
Yay.
And she wrote a letter to the group because and in those things there's always a group chat, group email, whatever.
I think I saw this.
Probably. It says, "Hi all, I'm really excited for our upcoming trip to Vegas. I think it'll be such a good time and we'll all finally get to bond. I know Vegas is known as Sin City, but despite this, I still have to uphold the moral code our Father inscribed in my heart. Due to this, I have some ground rules that I'd like everyone to follow.
Wait. So this is the girl that guilt tripped her way
Yes.
into the bachelor party. This is now
I would already said no. You don't get to go.
Okay.
It says these will not only help me remain aligned with the church, but also keep us all out of trouble. Sunday the 12th, I have found an appropriate church and contacted the pastor there explaining that we're from out of town, but we'd like to attend services Sunday at 7:50 a.m. 7:15. We'll be Ubering to the church. I can't wait to share God with all of you. I think it'll be a nice... Dang it, no, don't open that.
She said that?
Damn Amazon card.
I hate that fucking thing, man. That is the most deterrent. That pops up 2 or 3 times. Oh, fuck this article. I'm done. I hate that.
I think
shit.
it'll be a nice way to cleanse us of our sins from that week. In the hotel room, no hard liquor. I don't want people getting inebriated and falling from the balcony. Also, as this is my first time being of age and in an environment with prevalent drinking, I don't want to be tempted by these foul drinks. I'm not sure how I'll react to rum or tequila or vodka. And I'd like to test these in more controlled environments. Please stick to light beers and red wines. There will be no sex taking place in our hotel rooms or anywhere in the suite. As none of us have committed ourselves to husbands yet, there's no need to have premarital sex. Number 4, please don't invite random men back to the suite. I do not see a need for them to be there or know where we are staying. I don't want to be robbed. Number 5, please Venmo me $50 each as I will be buying groceries for the hotel room.
$50 each?
The last thing we need is to be famished in the desert heat. Number 6, absolutely no, under no circumstances, no drugs. Half of you currently work in positions that require you to have security clearances, and I do not want you to be tempted by these substances. Drunks being nothing but problems. This is my favorite part of this, okay? It blurs out the name. We'll just say Becky, okay? Becky, please leave your Adderall at home. I understand you have a medical condition, but as we will not be studying, there's no need for you to take your methamphetamines. I think that this is all for now, but I'm sure more will come up as time draws closer. Can't wait to see you all. Respectfully and with courteous passion, bitch. That's...
So did they cancel the Vegas trip and not tell her and let her go by herself? Because that's what I would do.
I want to say that this lady is pressing charges against the person for releasing these pictures of this because she's getting people did a deduction and figured out who it was, and now this lady's of course there's people that probably
shamed
sending
for
her,
life.
Yeah, they're probably sending her death threats. But oh my god, for something that you weren't invited to begin with, to put those kind of conditions on a fucking trip. I would have literally said, go fuck yourself, and you're not invited to the wedding either. I don't care.
When I read that a few weeks ago, it was so outlandish. I completely think that
it's fabricated.
It's fabricated. It's way too... if that person exists, which...
It's possible.
I've experienced hardcore Christians that are like this.
I just think it's so bad.
And I'm not putting down all Christians. I'm just saying that there are ones like this.
No doubt.
There's just people that steamroll everybody else around them regardless of the consequence.
I like Brian's look.
What?
He's just like, what?
Truth be told, I was probably one of those hardcore Christians when I was younger.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I was.
No, you're not going to do that. Don't drink that.
Would you have told a group of people how to enjoy their vacation?
Yes.
Maybe. I don't remember. It was it was 20 years ago. I don't remember that much.
Dude, when I was 16, probably.
In your youth group days?
No, this was after that.
Okay.
No, I never did the hardcore Christian thing, but I did the hardcore drug-free thing. And I appreciate that I was that way when I was a kid just because my mom is such a big meth head that I kind of went the opposite way, and I didn't get into, cocaine and heroin until I was older. I didn't drink till I was 22, and I've never done anything else, but I was pretty drug free and pretty straight edge, and I would give my grandparents a hard time for drinking. Seriously, you shouldn't be doing that. Why are you trying to kill yourself? I had
you were Becky.
Yeah. Yeah, but I was also much, much, much younger. This person was just of age, 21, still pretty stupid.
Yeah,
but
that's the same thing.
See, I didn't drink. I was
not
21 either,
thing.
but I never made anybody else not drink because I was there.
No, I never did that either. I just gave people a hard time, but I never stopped people from that. But I don't think necessarily being drug free as a teenager is a bad thing.
No, it's not.
Because I saw a lot of burnouts too.
A lot of people left for rehab during school.
I had a lot of people fall out senior year. Seems so weird to make it to senior year and then leave.
I think like 98% of our class graduated from freshman.
Private school.
Yeah.
Private school.
Well, because not everybody paid to be there.
I think only like 80% of my clique in high school graduated.
Oh, wow.
Because I don't think Hondo graduated. Yeah, I'm just throwing out names. I don't think Billy or Hondo graduated. I think they left like 2 months before the end of the year.
And I think we had a high percentage of college enrollees. I think it was like 85, 88%.
That's hella cool.
Yeah. The boys wanted to name the dog Hella after Hella from
Ragnarok.
And
I was like,
no.
nah, bro. Nah. That shit ain't happening.
But Judy.
Yeah. Oliver wanted to name her Judy so bad.
What from?
I have no idea. He's like, we should name her Judy. And I was going to let her. And then I was like, let's keep throwing out names.
He's like, no, Judy. Nice.
Excuse me. Yeah, you're welcome.
Damn.
That's not getting edited. And it smells and it's burning in my throat.
So
you don't think it's real? Brian's response is that was him when he was a teenager. And
yeah,
the article I had
that's who I hung out with, was people that were doing it. Except that was what they said, and none of them ever did it. Like, I didn't drink until I was like 21, 22.
I went to youth group from like 6th grade to 9th grade.
Pull it out of there, Robert. Pull it out of your
After
brain.
I left, some girl got pregnant on the youth group trip.
What a surprise.
How'd that happen? Virgin.
Because they don't teach
She
them
had
about sex.
Corey.
No,
Yeah.
I mean, that's how Jesus was born.
Yeah, I don't
let's talk
understand this
about
whole
that.
thing about like, and I don't want to get into the abortion laws in these fucked
Yeah,
up
let's
backwater
not.
states, but like, don't you think that they should be supporting like birth control and stuff like that? Because then this wouldn't
Yes.
even be an issue.
Yes.
No, they believe
It's so weird.
I think life begins in your testicles. You shouldn't control it.
Okay, let's put it on the men.
Put it on who?
Put it on the men. You can't. You have to have a
You're gonna
vasectomy.
put what on them?
You have to have a vasectomy,
Oh.
and then you have to have it reversed when you want to have kids.
I don't think Jesus believed in vasectomies.
Clearly.
I mean, he was the biggest bro of them all. He had 12 good homies. He rolled with them. One was kind of bad.
What? Okay, the last story is and I don't know if you guys. Obviously, Corey had heard this bridesmaid one, and I hope you guys have had stuff to talk about.
This is the birthday party?
Post me, yeah. Okay, come on.
Is it a meatball party?
Oh, damn it. Okay. So I can't find it. I apparently saved the same clip twice. But I know the gist of it, okay? And I was explaining it. Katrina's already heard this one. So a kid gets invited. I think it was like a 6-year-old kid gets invited to a birthday party at Build-A-Bear. Have you guys heard this?
No.
Have you ever been to a Build-A-Bear?
Yes.
No.
You know what Build-A-Bear is?
Yes.
Okay. It's not cheap.
What's it run?
I'd say the base model is like... it's at least $20 to $50.
Before you put a heart stuffed in there.
Yeah.
Well, that would come with it. So the base model.
Oh, they always get a heart?
They.
What
They
the-
range. The base models range.
I guess if you
between
don't want to put
20
a heart
and
in it,
50.
you don't have
yeah,
to.
if it's a bad bear, it doesn't need a heart.
Parker has a toothless from Build-A-Bear, and he put a bubblegum scent in it, and it still smells like bubblegum. This was like 4 years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you can get a base one for like $18.
Yeah, but you still, I mean, the clothes cost more. Everything, it just costs more and
Shit
more.
don't
and
need
more and
clothes.
more.
It's a bear.
So I think they said they invited like 8 to 10 kids, and the parents all pitched in $20 a piece because, you know, realizing that, you know, it's expensive and stuff. And then so all the kids dressed their bears, and the person that was writing it said, you know, I kept it modest. My daughter got a bear and one article of clothing, and we all went back for cake and ice cream at the birthday girl's house. And so when they get back to the house, the mom whose daughter's birthday it was says, okay, now everybody give your bear to the birthday girl. And so all these parents had paid for these bears, and then all these 6-year-old kids had built their bears, and then they had to give their bear that they built to this birthday girl and watch the birthday girl play with all the bears that they built. Would you think it'd be fucking heartbreaking for a 6-year-old to like build something themselves?
Wait.
This wasn't.
Why did they have to give the bear away?
The birthday mom said it
She basically had it in her mind the whole time. They're going to build a bear.
for her daughter.
For her daughter.
But she failed to express that opinion to the parents. And she thought, oh, it was probably.
So every 6-year-old built a bear for themselves and then had to give the
Give it
bears.
out.
they should have been building for the birthday girl if the mom had her way. And parents,
Like, why does some kid need like a freaking teamster of bears?
I don't know.
A bear army.
This mom
Just
must have
imagine
had
how
that happen.
heartbreaking it is as a 6-year-old to be excited to be at Build-A-Bear,
Build your
this
bear.
up, and then have to give it to the.
You name it, you give it a birthday.
I would have pulled the parent aside, and I once I get over a certain threshold, I can't hold back, and I would have said, "Fuck you! I'm
Wait.
taking this bear because my kids are more important than yours."
Were the other parents there?
What do you mean? Yeah, all the parents were there. All these parents built
I hope
bears
so.
with their kids,
Oh, okay.
and
So
then
you
went
wanna
back
be
to
the one-
the
So
person's house.
the other parents then allowed the kids to like give.
That's what it seemed like in the story.
You
And
don't
I
want to
can't
be
find
the one
exact details.
holdout.
Oh, I don't care. I don't care what anybody
Oh
else
no,
thinks.
yeah, you'd be like, nah,
I care
nah,
what
homie.
my kid
And
thinks.
every parent in that party would think you're an ass.
I don't think so. I think they would have thought the birthday parent was that.
I don't know. What if they all have the same mentality of this? What do they call the stereotypical lady who, like, I need to speak to your manager
with that haircut?
Yeah, what's they call that?
The can I speak to the manager haircut?
Karen.
Karen. Yeah,
Yeah.
Karen.
So this is a party full of Karens and only one normal person.
I wouldn't have cared because I wouldn't have had to see those people anymore because my kid wouldn't have been going to any of their birthday parties.
It's probably from a private school. You know those
You're-
kids.
I know. Okay. I work for a
Don't say it.
space school.
Base camp.
And one of the space schools that I deliver space supplies to is a private space school. And
This is Trump's wet
Okay,
dream.
Brian is sick. He can't follow these
It's a
long.
school.
I deliver to a private school.
It's code word.
And it is
Piece of shit.
the people are just clueless, man. Clueless.
Space Force is a real thing, Brian.
Yeah.
Oh, space is that still a thing? Are we still doing that?
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know.
we're up there, baby.
But who do you think's
We got
at
nukes.
no, who do you think's at fault here? The mom who threw the birthday party or the parent who didn't want
I have to see the invitation. If it says RSVP, if you promise to donate your bear, like in fine print, you know.
I probably wouldn't RSVP to that party if the invitation was like that because I knew what was coming.
I would
knew-
have, yeah. If you know what's coming, you would have bounced after Build-A-Bear. Now went back to the house.
I knew my kid would have been heartbroken.
Oh man, we couldn't make it back. Sorry.
And you guys don't. I mean, you don't have kids, and you can see heartbreak on a kid's face. But once you, I mean, the phrase is true. You don't know how much you can love something until you have kids. It's a completely different part of you. As much as I've yelled at my kids over the last
And you
couple
want to
weeks.
kill them sometimes.
I tell
Makes sense.
I tell Parker, I said, you make me happier and angrier than I've ever been in my entire life, which is, I think, an accurate portrayal of being a parent.
Absolutely.
I love both those boys to death, and to see heartbreak in their
That's
and
hard.
I remember my dad seeing it for the first time with Parker. It was the first time we went to Florida, and we were sitting there. We were waiting for the electrical light parade to start, and my dad comes back with a balloon and gives it to my nephew Marcus. And Parker is 3 at the time, and he looks up and he was like, "What?"
Where's my balloon?
And my dad was like, "Oh." And he immediately, he didn't do it on purpose. He just wasn't thinking because he usually only has one
kid.
grandson there.
Yeah.
But yeah, when you see that heartbreak, it's hard to
In
keep it together.
the story you read, was it a first-person account of the situation?
Yes.
What did the mom do? Is there any follow-up?
I can't remember. Like, I was trying to find it, and I thought I had the link saved, and I didn't.
Nothing in your mind? You remember? She said, "Fuck this place."
I'm sure.
y'all."
Are you looking it up, Katrina?
I'm going to try to find
If you
it.
type in "Build-A-Bear birthday fiasco," it might come up. But
Yeah, write fiasco first. It'll-
I was mid-drink.
I want you both to know that the last 2 searches on my phone now are California age of consent and Build-A-Bear birthday party.
You're about to get rolled up.
Okay, so we used to talk. I used to talk about this with one of the guys, Corey, and I. Well, Corey still works with. I used to work with. I said, if anybody ever looked at my search history, it would be terrible because at one point we were looking at how many Al Qaeda there are and like how people end up joining and all this stuff. Mom who planned cruelest birthday party. A Build-A-Bear doesn't think she was wrong. A mom on Reddit.
They never do.
A mom on Reddit wrote about a weird children's birthday party she attended that was going perfectly fine until the mom in charge made a decision that left a bunch of kids utterly devastated. There are fewer things more magical for kids than going to a birthday party. You have free license to run around and be as silly as crazy as you want. All the junk food your parents keep away from you from all are available to you. Sometimes they're low-key gatherings at friends' houses. Sometimes they're huge extravaganza. Blah, blah, blah. For the kids who attended this birthday party, however, it sounded like a pretty awesome event at first. The kiddos were told they would be having a party at Build-A-Bear Workshop, which is a dream come true for any child. So they all went to the mall before heading to Build-A-Bear, got themselves some pizza at the food court. It says, and this is where the actual part of the story comes in that she wrote. It says, earlier today I went to a birthday party for my daughter's 6th friend from school. The party was being held at Build-A-Bear, but it wasn't run by the employees. We had cake and pizza in the food court, then went down to Build-A-Bear to make bears, then back to the friend's house for the rest of the party. The invitations said each, about 8 kids total, would get to make a bear, and I just assumed they would get to take them home, since that is what happened at another Build-A-Bear party I went to. Me and my husband even pitched in about $30, as we know these things can get expensive. After they were done with their meals, the kids were unleashed into Build-A-Bear store and were told to create any bear they wanted. The Redditor telling the story says that since they knew these bears could get pricey, they chipped in $30, and the children had a blast designing the bears, but after they were all paid for by the mom who threw the party, things got a little dicey. As they left the store, she told excited kids who just created these stuffed animals with their own 2 hands that they needed to hand them over to the birthday girl as part of her gift. We get to the store and the kids going wild getting these animals and accessories. As far as I know, the parents didn't really put a limit, but I made my daughter stick to just a standard dog with a shirt, which about half the parents did as well. All is well, we leave the store, then the friend's mom announces that the kids need to give all their animals to her daughter. Cue the upset and angry kids. They all disappointingly handed over their animals. And friend wasn't even being nice about it either. Another little boy didn't want to, and the friend ripped it out of his hands. I probably should have said something, but it didn't. The other parents seemed baffled too. I wonder. We get back to friend's house, and our kids watching as friends play with all her new animals. I left with my daughter pretty quickly, and once we got back in the car, she started bawling. I felt bad, so we went to Build-A-Bear and got her a new one. I'm just wondering if this is totally normal, and should I have expected this, or am I being an entitled parent?
So I have 2 questions. Did they get them get the girl a gift?
Yeah, I would have.
Right. And B, why would you even go back to the house?
Oh, this afternoon at school pickup, me and another parent had a chance to talk with the mom of the party. It wasn't a long conversation, but I'll do my best to reenact it. Here, mom's fake name will be Karen. Insert awkward small talk. Karen, I hope the girls enjoyed the daughter's party the other day. I know daughter had lots of fun. Haha, yeah, I was actually wondering about the whole daughter and getting all the bears thing. The kids seemed pretty upset afterwards. Oh yeah, we wanted the daughter to have a special animal decorated by each of her friends. Oh, okay, I was just wondering why the kids didn't get to keep their bears. I even pitched in a little bit of money, assuming the bears would go to the kids. Well, I didn't have enough money for each of the guests to make their own. That would get pretty expensive. If you want your money back, I'll see about getting it back to you. I don't really see the problem, though. Well, the kids were forced to give away their new creations. Obviously, they are going to be upset about it. I also don't see why your daughter needs all these animals. Karen didn't respond and walked away right after, probably offended. What bothers me is that she said she didn't have enough money for all the kids to have one, but she did have enough money for her daughter to get like 8 bears. Just doesn't really make sense. That's about the end of the story, but I would have said something, and I probably wouldn't have been polite.
Would you have been in a worse position if you had been the parent who didn't chip in any money and expected the free bear from the birthday
When you
mom?
invite kids to a birthday party?
I say, would you have less of a ground to stand on?
I suppose. But I mean, like, when we've had
Destination parties.
When we've had destination parties where we knew siblings were coming, we paid for it. We've also been in a situation where our kids have gone to the opposite, like one of our kids has gone to a birthday party that the other one was invited to, and we paid the extra money to have our kids go. Other than like close friends who are like, hey, you can bring both of them, stuff like that. And that's a different situation entirely because we know those people personally, but I would never assume that my kid's going to get anything for free, and I always assume that I'm going to need to pay for it. So I've always been like, hey, here's money. If they don't take it, that's fine. If they take it, that's fine too. Yeah. But I'm never going to be disrespectful and assume that I'm getting something for free.
Correct. Like we've had parents, Parker got to go to a movie with a friend, and I was prepared to pay for his ticket.
We sent him with money.
I sent him with money, and she's like, no, the ticket's on me. She's like, so-and-so wanted to bring a friend, and
but then they made all the kids close their eyes except the birthday.
Oh my God. Like that's just
exactly.
awful. Like
I mean, even
unless you set a precedent. Hey, I'm throwing a birthday party for my daughter at Build-A-Bear. I want to have all the kids make her a bear.
This is going to be the gift. You don't have to get her a gift. This will be the gift from you.
And we're going to pay for it unless you want to chip something in.
Right.
I think that would have been a perfectly fine
Right.
Like,
Yes.
Because then I would have had my kid make one for themselves
Yeah,
too, and I would have
exactly.
paid for it.
yes.
Exactly. You don't set
I'm
these
not going
kids
to
up
take
for
my
heartbreak.
kid to Build-A-Bear and say, "Oh, sorry, you can build something, but it's not for you."
Yeah.
And her not realizing that there's a problem with that.
Typical
There's a
Karen.
problem with you. Yes.
6-year-old, like,
Yeah. Parker would be upset at 9.
oh my god, he would throw a fit. He'd be like, "Why am I here?"
Yeah. It'd be
It's
devastating.
like, you mean I don't get to keep it? You mean I don't get to take one home?
Yeah.
What do you mean I don't get
It
one?
would probably be worse.
Oh yeah, he'd be worse than Oliver.
The only correct thing to do is invite that little kid
And beat him
to a
up?
birthday party of your own and do a complete reverse. Like, maybe not Build-A-Bear, but just something like, we're going to a theme park, but you can't go on any rides. That's just for the birthday kid.
That reminds me of Tiny
to wait in
Toons
the line,
when
so-
they go to the theme park and they just ride
How I
the
spent my summer vacation.
and how they just go around the park in the monorail basically and go home.
Who did that?
Tiny Toon Adventures.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It was a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know.
thinking,
It's just those were just stories that stuck out to me over the last couple days. I don't like just reading a whole news article, but
It's fine.
I was upset at the Build-A-Bear one because I knew how my kids would react, and I would just have been like,
That's how any kid would react. Like, unless you tell them walking into something, like, I have a hard time telling Oliver, no, we're not going to go to Target every single day to get you a toy. Like, he still
Yes,
doesn't
every week.
understand.
from like, I'd say 2 to 3 years old to like 5, 6 years old. When a kid goes to a birthday party, they're upset that they didn't get anything. Like it's
Yeah. Why am I not the birthday boy?
yeah.
Right.
At 6, you're about getting to the point where it's like,
Okay,
but
I'm here to
younger
have
than
fun.
that, they want to open the presents too, and
Yeah.
you can't blame them. They're going to somewhere that's fun, that there's wrapped gifts, and
Gotta tear them open and see what's inside.
I'll live with regret for the rest of my life that I canceled Oliver's 5th birthday party because he got kicked out of school twice that week.
Oh, that was so bad.
I still think about it, and I still feel bad. But it's like,
At least you can have another birthday party.
yeah. And
We still did stuff with him. It wasn't
he's
like
had stuff with family, but I canceled the jumpy. I canceled all his friends coming over. And it's like when they tell you, when you're a parent, you have to be, it's not all about having fun and being friends. Sometimes you got to
Be
make a
punished too.
statement. And I still feel bad about it. It broke my heart to make that decision.
Was the consequence presented?
Yes.
So he said
He got kicked out once. I said, if this happens again this week, I am canceling your birthday party.
and he understood what caused him to get kicked out.
no, because he wasn't diagnosed yet.
Yeah, there's some regret there.
Yeah. If you knew the information I know now, and that he has a legitimate disorder and his brain works a little differently, I would have been like, no, he's not going to get in trouble.
It's like we ran into an issue during his last T-ball game where he started to shut down,
Oh, motherfucker.
and his coach was like trying to rationalize with him like he's 10 years old. And
He's trying to, okay, this is a T-ball team, and I volunteered to help as a coach, and he's running foot speed drills with the nets, where you run in them, and you run out, you run in, you run out.
these are 5 and
with
6-year-olds.
5 and 6-year-olds.
I'm well aware of how asinine that is.
I'm like, and then he's trying to teach them how to back up positions before
Or
he
what
teaches
positions
them
are.
what the positions are. And I'm like, I tried to help out for the first 3 weeks and like try to get the kids in place because I've helped coach and stuff. And this guy's coached before too. He's one of the grandpa of one of the kids. And finally, I'm just like, he's not listening to me. But our youngest has his good days and his bad days, just like anybody else.
We've been at the field already for like 2.5
and
hours.
Parker had already had a game, so and we're sitting at the field,
12:30.
and he doesn't want to play anymore. So he starts playing with his glove, and he starts playing with the strings on the back of his glove. And his coach tries to tell him, pay attention, pay attention. I'm out on the field, and I'm watching because I'm helping some of the other kids, and I'm watching him do this. So he pulls Oliver aside, and then he takes Oliver's glove from him, and then he makes Oliver sit in the dugout by himself. And he comes up to me and tries to talk to me, and I say. And he's like, well, I tried to say this and this and this and this. And I said, I don't broadcast it to everybody, but he has severe ADHD. And I know some people that don't have to deal with that just think, oh, it's a lot of energy. That's not it. There's destructive behaviors that come along with it. And I was like, and he has good days and he's got bad days, and he's not going to respond to you talking this way. So I went and talked to him, and I got him to break out of it because we have techniques and stuff in place that we know he's our kid, and we know how we can get him
to respond.
in those situations. And it's like I mean, it's just this guy's trying to coach these guys like it's it's the World Series and they're adults, but not realizing they're 5 and 6-year-old kids. I don't know. I should have just taken the team myself.
Next year.
No, there's no more T-ball, and Oliver doesn't want to play baseball anymore.
We'll see.
So, yeah. Like Parker doesn't want to play soccer.
If he doesn't want to play, he doesn't want to play, and that's fine.
I
He's
wanna
got to do
play
something
T-ball.
else.
Yeah?
Yeah.
He's played T-ball for 2 years.
After that, I went to karate.
Yeah. I thought about, remember Manny?
Yeah,
He runs a jiu-jitsu gym for kids now.
that's fun.
Yeah, and I
I
was
do
like,
jiu-jitsu, but
anyways, Brian, you said there was something you want to talk about, or you want to keep talking about
No,
the
it's
kids
fine.
stuff?
I forgot.
Did you really?
I fluttered away. I went back on my Twitter and tried to see what had like sparked my thought process, and it's gone.
What?
So I'm gonna keep trying.
We're pretty serious here now about me yelling at the T-ball coach. I did. I mean, I'm pretty mellow when it comes to being on field when I was on field, but I did get in a fight with a parent once.
recently?
No, it was the
No,
same
last
time.
season.
Like
Okay.
I've talked about it till the cows came home. So I mean, I don't know. Moo.
Moo.
I talked about my stuff.
Alex Trebek is in remission.
I saw that some of his tumors have shrunk by 50%.
Yeah, that guy's amazing.
He has money.
So did Steve Jobs.
That is true.
Yeah.
Didn't he have some
but
other
Steve
worse
Jobs-
cancer?
Pancreatic cancer.
He believed in a lot of like weird medical
You think so?
mumbo jumbo. Yeah,
I mean, we can go to other people. Patrick Swayze.
did he believe in
I don't know. He
actual?
died
Like,
of
Hold on.
cancer.
Cut. What did Jobs
I don't know. A lot of like
He had pancreatic
homebrew
cancer.
remedies,
like
and
homeopathic stuff?
yeah,
So I had this debate, argument, conversation with a client that,
Was it about kratom?
Debate, argument, conversation.
no, it was like people chase a lot of like these really outlandish pursuits for medical, weight loss, whatever, and they don't really adhere to the basic like things that you need. And there's a lot of stuff going on where people are like, oh, like there's a guy on Instagram that he's like, oh, you can cure cancer at home. All you do is need fresh fruits and vegetables juiced, and you'll rehydrate your cells and blah, blah, blah. You don't need chemo. You don't need radiation.
What?
Basically
And-
killing
and
people.
vaccines-
That is the exact argument, is that
and
these people are
vaccines
like,
don't
you're going to
work.
get people killed
yeah.
because they're
Those
doing
are
this.
they're crazy duplicative cells.
Yeah.
Like it's got nothing to do with them being hydrated.
Now, if someone has gone through like multiple treatments and is just to the end of their rope with it, knock yourself out. But if you're openly telling someone, be like, this won't help you, you can juice celery at home. By the way, celery juice is bullshit. So,
I've never
Celery
heard
juice?
Of
oh yeah, people are all about like celery, like juicing celery. It's got all these. No, it doesn't.
It's water.
It's
Is it like
People
watermelon?
are dumb.
It's water with like light green.
That's where you get into like Instagram influencers, and they're like, oh, we're gonna get out to all our people.
Some of this shit is really dangerous.
It is?
The anti-vaccine movement is insane. It's fucking insane.
I always tease my cousin because he's a trainer too, but he really believes in alkali water, and it's a machine that you have to buy, and it's an expensive machine, and it like does something to your water. And he's like, oh, it's the best thing in the world. I'm like, do you really think you're getting benefit from drinking alkali water, or the fact that you paid $100 for a machine and now you're drinking more water? What is the benefit?
Fair
here?
enough. What is the thought process behind that water?
I don't know. I just know that it's
it doesn't mess with the pH balance. I know a lot of them do that.
People are no one grabs low hanging fruit. They try to climb the tree and get like the key ingredient or whatever.
I
And
want
it's
diamond water.
you want diamond water?
No, water that's ran through a diamond filter.
What was that fucking episode
That's
of
a real
Parks and
thing.
Rec that
Legit.
where they were trying to add fluoride to the water because it was good for your
Oh, and they
teeth
kept
and
one
stuff?
upping each
Yeah,
other.
that was a good episode.
Didn't they? But I feel like that was one of the later seasons because wasn't it Leslie versus Ron and
No, it was Leslie versus
Jam.
Cancelman Jam. Yeah,
Jam.
we got jammed.
Got jammed.
We got jammed.
I'm so glad you two like watched that show in full.
I've seen it like 4 times through now.
that good.
This reminds me.
It's not that first season. It's just it's
it's-
not good.
Have you heard of MMS Miracle Mineral Supplement?
No.
I'd heard about it recently. It's one of those homeopathic remedies, but somebody's promoting. I don't know how it's spread on social media. It's a big thing on Facebook somewhere. I think it just got news because I think Facebook basically shut down their pages or videos or
You
everything
talking
about
about
it.
the
'Cause it's
group
not
that had
real?
like 1.6 million people in it?
Maybe, but basically, you're drinking whatever the main ingredient in bleach is, whatever I don't know what it's called.
Clorox.
It's like an actual like couple chemicals mixed together, whatever.
Mustard
and it cures
gas.
everything from autism to a wide range of disease. I'm sure
Genetic disorders
if it
that
said
can't be
cancer was
cured
one of
with
them.
I have a
liquids.
shit memory, but I remember in 7th grade we got to look at HIV cells under the microscope and stuff. And
That's cool.
Yeah, and I remember one of the questions was what can kill the HIV virus,
Oh,
and I said bleach, but you can't drink it or inject it. And I did not get the question right.
Because the question was what cures.
They,
thing-
I think
thing's-
they have something now that actually does.
It's a suppressant,
Yeah,
but it doesn't work all
It's
the
like you
time.
can basically live a full life with HIV.
Right.
there's a Christian nonprofit. The main guy of it's promoting the miracle
Is it
supplement.
Mike Pence?
They're trying to steal
No.
money and run away to
Robert
another
Baldwin.
country.
Wait. Does it cure being gay?
Yes.
No, but
No conversion therapy needed.
killing all the African people because he's using a charity to ship it to Uganda and promote that it cures everything there. And a lot of people aren't doing so good over there. They say it cures AIDS and cancer, malaria.
Ebola?
I mean, that's
Everything.
Basically, when you're dead, you're cured.
There's a
That's
couple of
fucked.
there's a couple of women on Instagram who got outed as being because they're fitness influencers. So there's this one girl, I don't remember her name, Brittany
The vegan?
something. No, so that's what the other one I was
That's
going to talk
hilarious.
about. So there's a vegan woman who built her entire empire on saying I'm vegan. This is the healthiest diet, and then her whole body just started shutting down. She's like 37 years old. She started going into early menopause. And just all
So
these
she's not
just-
getting any minerals or
yeah,
vitamins.
and then so she came out and she was like, and the thing is they hold on to this because it's their identity, and if it doesn't work, their identity is gone.
So
that's why you get a lot of people that are like extreme vegans, carnivores, paleo, keto. They have to make this stuff work because they're tied to it, and if it doesn't work, then their identity is shattered.
That makes sense.
That's the same lady who ate fish.
No, the other one
Pescatarian?
was a
Pescatarian.
lady who people were paying for
Oh,
exercise programs, and she had like $300, and she wasn't giving them anything. And then she eventually had to come out and say, "I have no formal education or experience in this. I just look the part."
Oh.
And she got
The one it was
shit on.
It was a full blown vegan, but she's an influencer. But another influencer video, she tried to hide hey, we're at a restaurant, and she tried to hide a plate of food because she's eating fish, and she's hardcore with the most vegan you can be. Whatever is another term where you don't.
full freaking vegan.
Yeah. And then she came out like, oh,
Go
well,
to vegan school.
she did a lot of crazy. Where she went on one of those fasts where you don't eat food for 2 weeks or whatever it is.
Gelato's not vegan?
Milk and eggs,
And
bitch.
it messed with her her good bacteria in her intestines, and she was getting sick. And the doctor said you could either take whatever medicine it is, but she didn't believe in that medicine. I don't know if it was.
Antibiotics?
I think that's what it was, to be honest. And they told her you can start eating meat, like fish and or whatever. She's like, I guess I'll do that, but I have to. She still put on a front that she was a vegan on her channel, but she got caught, and so there's a whole apology video. This is a few weeks ago or months ago. I don't know. It's
My
hilarious.
diet's so horrible it makes me sick.
It's hilarious though. I still believe vegans are good, but I have to eat fish. You don't understand.
Well,
It's my
there's some-
personal thing.
There's some proof that intermittent fasting is beneficial, right?
There is anecdotal evidence that intermittent fasting is beneficial, but that's a per person
Basis.
thing. So it might work for someone. If it does, that's fine. The idea is that you don't want to say it will because it worked for me. It works for everyone.
Yeah.
That's
No,
where
that
you
make-
run into
yeah, that
problems.
makes sense.
But if someone works because they're in a weird schedule or they just don't prefer to eat, sure.
It worked for Gandhi.
Katrina.
We
What?
fast every day.
Yeah. Well, sleeping.
Yeah.
Well, I try to, for me to feel my best, I don't like to eat after 7 o'clock because I have the fucking acid reflux. I don't like laying down. What's up?
So, side note on that, I had a conversation with Eric because I would tell him to eat, or I said I was eating at 8:30, and he's like, "Oh, it's too late to eat." I'm like, where'd you read that? And he sent me this picture of some Google about not wanting to eat past 7 o'clock, and the whole idea that came from is that the idea is that your body digests it differently, or some garbage like that. What do people eat at late at night?
Junk food.
Shit. So it has nothing to do with the actual ingesting of food. It's the content.
That's for him, but actually having
Well,
GERD,
no, yeah. So yeah, I'm just saying is
It's-
that there's an overarching idea that you're not
what's
supposed to.
bad for me might not be bad for somebody else. We
Yes.
would just said Yeah, but having reflux constantly, eating late and then laying down is a big no-no.
Yeah.
So I try to not eat after 7 o'clock. I'm not always successful with that, but then I don't like. I get up and I'll
Chest pains.
no, it's not about that. It's
She just starts listening
Yeah,
off to
I
the
know.
litany of stuff.
75 to 90% of my ailments are anxiety induced, but I don't eat until like 9:30.
In the morning.
Yeah, because I'll have my coffee, I'll have water, and then I don't get hungry. I'm not going to eat till I'm hungry, and I eat at like 9:30, and then I have a snack at 11, and then I have my lunch, and then I have a snack, and then I have dinner. When I'm eating the way I like to eat, that makes me feel good as a person that has stomach issues.
Which is funny because that's only as of recently, I would say in the past like 9 months, because you used to be like, I'm starving at 7 o'clock.
At night?
No,
Oh, in the
in the
morning?
morning.
Well, if the later I eat, the earlier I'm hungry in the morning. I don't know what the science is behind that, but if I eat late at night, I'm always hungry when I wake up. But
Yeah.
when I get
Yeah, that's true.
when I get my routine set up,
Right.
I
You said when you eat at night, you're always hungry in the morning.
if
more
I
you
eat.
eat
If he
late
eats
at night, I wake up hungry.
That's probably just more because you've eaten. So your metabolism is running like during the evening. So when you wake up, you're hungrier.
Brian,
Like if you don't eat a lot, you, like people's metabolism shuts down, and then they're just not hungry.
what's the deal about eating and not swimming?
That's why I'm not hungry.
Eating
Yep.
and not swimming.
Low
Yeah,
T,
I don't
Robert. Low T.
There's no science behind
I
that.
like low
don't
T.
know.
Oh, you should know.
I'm gonna
You
ask
should-
my
you
doctor
really
about
should.
that
I
on my
don't go
yearly because I'm constantly tired.
Well,
Go to
floating.
the Total T clinic.
I've thought about it.
What's that?
It's to find out if you have low T.
You drink tea?
I drink tea a lot. I do like tea.
Mr. Tea?
My roommate's father is on testosterone, and he talks he's always for like years, and he always talks really, 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 really loud, and he's super aggressive. And, like
Are you sure he's not on steroids?
you'd be like Will Ferrell's character in that SNL skit where he can't lower his voice.
I have a friend that's 30 that was diagnosed with low T and had to do testosterone replacement therapy.
I had a friend do the same thing. He tried to get into the fire academy, and he had to take testosterone because he was just small, and then he is not anymore.
Most of my shit comes from anxiety, but I am tired all the time. But doing baseball 6 days a week and then working and then playing with your kids and then doing homework and then doing baseball practice and then
Sounds like you
making
need
sure
tea.
Yeah, I need tea or fucking speed. But
Get some cocaine.
you get tired. You get tired. So yeah,
Blast through that. What? I don't have to do with my hand?
I'm trying to remember what I'm trying to remember what I was going to talk about earlier, and I can't.
What We Do in the Shadows is on. Are we going to watch it tonight?
no,
Oh,
tomorrow.
they're getting ancestry tests done. Yeah, you don't care.
I want to take NyQuil.
You and me both. I
You're going
changed
to take
from
NyQuil on top of whatever you already took?
yes. What was it?
You and I are
You
so
hope
opposite.
you wake up.
I won't even mix like NyQuil with like Tylenol now.
See, like, I'll take like 1,200 milligrams of Advil when I need to. Because,
1,200?
yeah.
It's like 6 pills.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I was taking that when I was like 10 years old and I had cramps. Because
So
nothing else would help.
I always downplayed cramps. Like maybe like let's see,
Always.
no, like 8 years ago, 7 years ago, like the severity of them, and then I realized that was
What do you mean?
uneducated. The people I was with had cramps, and
We were having a conversation about
And-
how little men know about periods. Like, I had seen one where a girl said, her boyfriend said, "Isn't there a draft when the egg falls out?"
a draft.
like
You
wind.
mean like wind?
Yeah.
Oh
I wonder if I could find that.
no, I just the people
Or
I
how
was
about the
surrounded
pictures
with.
of the baby being born and crawling out of the butt? You like that? Or the twins that you hold in your thighs?
You can show them those pictures.
I just read the smallest living baby was born in San Diego.
Yeah, I saw that.
How small?
How small was
ounces,
it?
Ounces.
Well, I mean, when
Does
Parker.
that mean we're going to touch on that
Yeah,
that lady that killed a 19-year-old in Chicago?
What?
So this was a hell of a story. This woman, unfortunately, I think I'm getting this right. This woman lost her son. Right, he died. He was a younger kid, And then she announced later on, like months later or some odd later, that she was pregnant, which was kind of...
You don't want to tell this story. Robert's going to hate it.
Well, I guess.
You can give him...
Anyway.
I probably don't want to hear this.
8.6 ounces.
All right, well, yeah, it was a bad story. 8.6 ounces?
Ounces. Yeah.
I don't even have my retainer in. I think this is my first podcast with no braces.
You can tell.
Yeah.
Damn it! I wish I knew where these fucking.
You should do your story in like one quick sentence. Just it's horrible.
Yeah. A lady killed another lady and took the baby.
Oh, she cut
A
it out of
lady
her.
killed
Yeah.
a pregnant lady and took the baby.
Cut it out, claimed as her own, and that the baby's turning blue. I need medical help.
And now she's in prison.
Took him a minute.
And the
to
baby's
figure out-
alive with the father, so
but maybe
that's
not all
half
there.
half a good ending, but yeah. Some people are
I'm really
fucked up.
bummed I can't find this list because it was like I don't pretend to be an expert on periods, but I was just reading some of this stuff and I'm like, how do
I know that they go at the end of a sentence.
So I had a conversation once with someone that will remain nameless that she thought that once men knew exactly, like from a health standpoint, what a period was, that they should automatically be fine with it, like 100% comfortable with everything that comes along with it, right? So basically, education equals just calmness, but that doesn't work.
No.
Right? So people are uncomfortable for various reasons, and that's their own reason.
I know how taking a shit works. I don't even want to watch somebody take a shit in front of me.
Yeah.
well said.
But the other argument was like, okay, this person is a smoker, so you know that there is no positive effect from smoking cigarettes,
Yeah.
right? But that didn't change the fact that they couldn't quit. So how was there a correlate? And then once that argument was presented, this person got very angry.
I could see that.
So, and I
She was dug
agree.
in.
Like, yeah, that
Said person seemed like they were an angry person.
Yeah. So I agree. I think, yeah, with education, you should be able to immediately modify, but that doesn't work. You don't change through reason.
That's why we all are still eating sugar and Taco Bell and
What the fuck do you have against Taco Bell?
nothing, man. I had 2 cheesy gordita crunches 2 weeks ago and they were delicious. That's my jam.
That's 100% sand, baby.
Was that circumstantial or just because you were hungry?
Because Katrina was like, okay, we need to stop eating junk food. Or she said she does. And I agreed.
And then you went and bought
she's
Taco Bell?
but
wait.
we need...
She said she needs to start getting junk food, and then you said you agreed that she needed to stop
No,
eating
like
junk
I
food?
agree that we need to stop eating
okay.
junk food. We were on
I
kind
thought
of a
you were like,
downward...
yeah, you need to stop.
No, never.
If somebody tells you to stop, Robert, you just do it. It doesn't matter what they're doing. You just stop.
Okay,
True.
so you...
But it's hard to just stop eating things that are bad for you, even though you know they're bad for you. So I hadn't had Taco Bell or Carl's Jr. in like years,
Yeah, both at the same time?
back-to-back days.
Nice.
Oh, boy.
And then, yeah, the shits. Oh,
Niagara
the
Falls
shits.
out of your asshole.
Dude, I ate prunes yesterday, and like I said earlier, man, I had to. Okay,
Extra white?
so last week I'm texting Katrina, and the text was legitimately, I just shit so much, and it's still coming, that I don't know if there's going to be anything left of me. And I sent her like a "I've always loved you" type of farewell,
Like a plane crash text
no,
message?
but like we've all had those instances where you have like horrible diarrhea. This wasn't diarrhea; it was a normal shit, and it kept going
just a lot
and
of it?
going,
Like
and
soft
going.
serve or just
Yeah,
like
it's
you
like-
just
It's
just
like
kept
you
coming
left
out?
the ice
kept
cream machine
coming.
on.
You're welcome for what I sent you.
Is a
And it was
picture of
like,
the shit?
did you send it to Corey?
Yeah, I sent it to both of them.
I'll
What is this?
It's a pregnancy book.
I will just so our listeners that can't see obviously
I'll
what we're
post
talking
it.
about. Katrina at 9 to 5 Nerds, producer, PR,
Let me do it now.
PRODCR.
Oh God, really?
There is no punctuation in any of these sentences.
We'll post
The
these.
twins will feed on the leg bone of their mother to get all of the bone goodness that is needed to help them grow.
Katrina's gonna post these on Twitter. So if you don't follow her on Twitter, it's at 9 to 5 Nerds, producer. Even Corey's laughing. They're pretty good.
Out you come, little one. will crouch down and let the newborn crawl out of her so it can finally be
Thank
released
you.
into the wild.
Baby, thank you.
I wonder what Alan's gonna say.
You have to read them out loud now.
The whole thing.
Go.
All right. When a lady has two babies inside of her, it is called being pregnant with twins. Okay, that's true.
Yeah.
The reason
Science.
the reason most people got two legs is in case they get pregnant with twins, so that they can safely grow them inside of their legs with plenty of room. And then there's the leg bone goodness sentence. By the time the twins are fully grown, they will have stretched all the way down to their mother's ankles. What a beautiful world we live in.
I'm broken.
I wonder what other pictures are in this book.
Can you find the book? Can we order it and just read it on here?
That's an episode. Just us trying to read this and get through it without like. laughing the
Were
whole
you
time.
there when I tried to read the article that was written by the bot about Donald Trump? Oh, I can't breathe right now. Whew. I couldn't even finish reading it.
There was a book like that I remember reading in Barnes & Noble's like 10, 15 years ago. And it was like how not to raise your kid like the wrong way. It's the same kind of drawings, but it's just hysterical. I remember laughing out loud at Barnes & Noble. Like, I read the whole
I
thing.
kind of hope this book doesn't exist. It gives incorrect information.
You don't say.
It's probably from an Instagram influencer.
Could
Yeah.
be.
What are we at, Katrina? I gotta end this shit.
Oh, you're good to go. Good
Well,
to go.
Good to go.
It's already on Twitter.
What is? Oh, Katrina,
pictures.
yeah. So yeah, thanks for coming back this week, everyone. We'll be back to a regular schedule now, unless I get sick again. Cross your fingers. I actually can't breathe right now.
Wonderful. It must be the walls. It's something in the walls.
I constantly say that. I think that we have black mold.
Have you got twins in your legs?
Maybe that's the issue.
Squat. Let them out.
No, but I am working on a few things for a couple episodes coming up, and we have a Books and Brews episode coming up that we're recording on June 8th. It'll be out a couple days after that. We're going to be reading Outer Darkness from Skybound, and I might have a surprise from Skybound for you listeners.
Should I write this down?
No, I'll message you afterwards. Corey's not involved in Books and Brews.
He'll give you the information.
Books and bros.
Burning Beard from El
I'm not a
Cajon is going to
bro.
be our...
Everybody's a bro.
yeah, brah.
Yeah.
Burning Beard in El Cajon, California, is going to be our drinks for the evening. And Valley Farms, which is a very, very good market.
Grocery.
Yeah, well, it is. It's at a market, but they have a very good butcher counter, and then they have a
Rupture Farm.
smoked shack where they have a bunch of smoked meat. That'll be the food. So that's coming up June 8th, and the episode will probably release June 10th or 11th. Wait, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11th or 12th. So, yeah. And Comic-Con's right around the corner. You get to go one day.
Too soon.
Yeah.
Comes so fast.
49 days.
Your dog's snoring.
Yeah, she's a loud sleeper.
It's cute.
Yeah, she's a cute dog. I'll post a picture of the dog on Twitter, too. Her name's Daisy.
Daisy Dukes.
Yeah, now that I'm starting to be able to breathe again, that'll be this week's episode. And thank you for listening. We're out.